Welcome to Curacao as we get ready for another day. It's group play here, Concacaf W Under-20 Championship. It's Guadalupe and Trinidad and Tobago. Well, it's 77 degrees and a fairly nice day, so cool here in Curacao to play this afternoon match between two teams in Group D. Other teams in this group, see Puerto Rico and Cayman Islands. They'll play later today at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. But you see Puerto Rico has a win, so does Trinidad and Tobago. Everybody else has a loss, and so for Guadalupe looking to right the ship, and Trinidad and Tobago looking to pick up another win before they play Puerto Rico in their final game in group play. Well, we'll just pause for a moment, and then we will have the national anthems processions for both sides. We'll have lineups as well in just a few.
Ladies and gentlemen, mesdames et messieurs, bon midi and a big welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Rignaal Francisca Stadium. We are here for the Concacaf Women's Under-20 Qualifiers match. Please welcome the teams of Guadeloupe and Trinidad and Tobago. Ladies and gentlemen, we ask you to please rise as we first listen to the national anthem of Guadalupe. Please remain standing as we now listen to the national anthem of Trinidad and Tobago. ladies and gentlemen. Let's do this again, ladies and gentlemen, damas y caballeros, messieurs, dames. Welcome once again in Stadion Rignaal Jean Francisca.
All right, moments away from kickoff here in Curacao. This is a starting lineup for Guadalupe. This is a team that needs to right the ship after a disappointing loss to Puerto Rico. Lost that game 5-0. So they're looking just for some scoring chances to create a little bit more challenge goalkeepers, see what they can do today. Obviously, Puerto Rico is a team that's traditionally very good in Concacaf tournaments. And Guadalupe, by the way, in those red kits against Trinidad and Tobago in silver. It's hard to really tell who's going to be the main scorer for them because we haven't seen it yet. But again, just looking to get that offense going. Tatiana Guzman is our center referee today. One of many games on this Monday afternoon and night. We've got games until later tonight, 6 p.m. Eastern time, a second slew, and so the action essentially goes every other day for teams so they can get a rest in between games. So important because everybody's fighting to win the group so they can move on to the championship later this summer. This is the starting lineup for Trinidad and Tobago, coming off a 3-0 victory over Cayman Islands. They have a lot of different weapons, but Talia Martin is the person to watch out for. Martin had 2 goals in that victory, and off the bench, they have Nikita Jackson as well. She also scored. So they have some depth on this roster, Trinidad and Tobago does, and they've done a great job of sort of resetting a team that has traditionally struggled in the past couple iterations of this tournament. And they've turned it around and look a lot stronger. And again, just kind of challenging Puerto Rico for the group at the moment. Of course, Puerto Rico and Cayman Islands will play later today, so we'll have a better picture of how everything plays out. But if they win today, Trinidad and Tobago, they'll play Puerto Rico in that final game, so it could come down to who wins the group there. Obviously, Guadalupe has something to say about that, though, so we'll see how this one pans out. And we're here in Curacao, some teams, some groups in the Dominican Republic for this tournament.
Match commissioner is Miss Gina Chirino from Bonaire, ladies and gentlemen.
And once again, Guadalupe in red, Trinidad and Tobago in silver.
Guadalupe and Trinidad and Tobago, on behalf of Concacaf, we wish you a pleasant match.
Just waiting for the okay. Again, Concacaf W U20 qualifiers. There's no other option. You can't finish second, can't finish third. You gotta win your group in order to move on to the championship. United States, Mexico have surpassed the qualifiers. They are waiting to see the 6 other teams they will play from May to June. Obviously, the ultimate goal is to punch a ticket to the World Cup at this level. And it starts right here with these qualifying games. Head coach for Trinidad and Tobago is Dernell Mescal, and for Guadalupe, it's Cedric Monpierre. Countdown begins, and we're just waiting for it to officially reach the top of the hour. And we're underway. Concacaf W qualifiers, Trinidad and Tobago, Guadalupe. Group play, this is a second game for both teams. They had a day off yesterday, both played on Saturday. And again, 2 very different results. Puerto Rico with a decisive victory over Guadalupe, 5-0 was the final score, and just really, really dominant performance for Puerto Rico. On the flip side, Trinidad and Tobago dominated Cayman Islands, 3-0 the final. And Talia Martin was the superstar. She'll wear 7 for Trinidad and Tobago. Darwin on the throw-in. Leading pass ahead, looking for Alexander, bumped back for Guadalupe. Couple of quick passes here in the midfield. Jasmine. Solid run. Cross unsuccessful, bumped into the midfield again, but it's right back with Guadalupe. Can see Alexander trying to make some noise, aggressive here. It's the only one with that high line, and now it's changed a little bit for Trinidad and Tobago, putting on some pressure. Near side, little give and go action. Capri looks to lift, intercepted. Trinidad and Tobago, the Concacaf U20 level, had been on a 4-game slide. Of course, that dates back to 2020 and just really struggled in the last iteration of the tournament. Lost 3 games and they were outscored 15-2. And so made a coaching change, and things have been really great so far. Obviously, to come in and get that first victory just solidifies, you know, some of the changes that were made, and is already a step in the right direction after not winning 1 game the last time around. So definitely a very big deal for Trinidad and Tobago, and they want to continue that. On the wing, first time we've seen Trinidad and Tobago in the attacking third, and Martin goes down, free kick coming. It's going to be Marley Walker, the captain today, to take this free kick. Walker plays for Charleston Soccer Club, so usually lives stateside, playing for Trinidad and Tobago in this U20 tournament. Here's the boot, lofted up, headed still in the box, and it lands over that crossbar. Off a defender, so we'll do it again. Again, you see Martin has proved to be the #1 scoring option, standing a couple of steps away from the 6, right at that penalty spot. Spencer Wickham will be the one to take it this time around for Trinidad and Tobago. Headed towards the back post, bounce around, still in the 6, not totally cleared. And no one can get a clean shot. In fact, we'll get a foul against Alexander for Trinidad and Tobago. Trinidad and Tobago didn't possess in the opening minute or so, and now they've been able to really just hold on to it. Williams looking to make a move, goes wide to Darwin. Little fake there, trying to hesitate past the defender. Getting pushed out is Darwin. This one lofted up for Alexander. Lands on the top of the box, looking for Alexander as well. Slips through, but a foul right at that spot against Trinidad and Tobago. Lassard, the one to bear the brunt of that for Guadalupe. Jasmine, bumped back, starting from behind for Guadalupe. Strong tackle. That's a goal scorer, Martin. Pushed into traffic and a trip. Penalty coming. Right in the box. As Martin goes tumbling down. That's a hard foul, and looks like the training staff is being called. Just want to double check that she's okay. She's gonna stand up, and looks like maybe she's got an elbow cut. See this again, nice leading pass. Martin to Martin. Oriel and Talia. Delisha Alexander will be the one to take this. Fano, the goalkeeper today for Guadalupe. Leanne Fano has her work cut out for her in this moment. Alexander back to take it, tucks it in the corner, and Trinidad and Tobago take the lead. A penalty in the opening minutes of the game. Tough break for Guadalupe. Trinidad and Tobago take advantage.
And ladies and gentlemen, in the 8th minute of this match, the first goal putting Trinidad and Tobago in the lead. Number 9, Delisha Alexander. The score is now Guadalupe 0, Trinidad and Tobago 1.
First glimpse of Sophia Keel, goalkeeper for Trinidad and Tobago. Hasn't seen any action so far. They'd like to keep it that way. Martin goes down, no call. Oriel Martin still fighting for it. Push towards the touchline, poked out, and it's going to be Trinidad and Tobago with possession. Mariah Williams fighting for it. Darwin off the toss to Alexander. She looks for a call, won't get one. This is gonna give Guadalupe a chance to really counter. Eckerd runs into traffic, has it nudged. Back and forth, ping pong there in the circle. Eckerd, pass behind. Jasmine stretches out, getting hounded by Darwin. Strong tackle. That's the stuff that coaches love to see. Not flashy, just standing your ground and eventually not committing a foul, poking it out cleanly. And here comes Martin. Once again, she's been an issue, splits the knee. Martin has a chance to score. Stopped on the goal line, and it's saved. Right on the goal line, Guadalupe is able to clear because Alexander was there for the brace. Just couldn't finish. Here she comes again. Fano comes out to save. Chaotic sequence, and Trinidad and Tobago almost just made this 2-0 before we've even reached 10 minutes in. Looked like it was Gastarmac, the one to save that for Guadalupe. Danger again. Alexander lingering. Assard. Capri. Valerie turns squares. Oh, we see both Martins and Alexander not laying off at all. Means you can put a ball over the top though, because a line's high if they can get there, but here comes Guadalupe on the counter. Eckerd. Darwin's been so strong. Will help defense there for Trinidad and Tobago. Curacao. The penalty is a difference at the moment from Alexander on the Trinidad and Tobago side. It was drawn by Talia Martin on a great pass from Oriel Martin. Alexander looking to sneak one by. Defense is poised. This is one of 6 games today as that rolls to Fano. Martin makes a move, wants a cross, blocked down, and now cleared. Well, Trinidad and Tobago has been relentless. Again, took them a minute to really settle in. Since then, it's been smooth sailing. Alexander lofts one up for a teammate. Tangled. Guadalupe can't totally clear. So Williams, who couldn't get the shot off. Alexander lets it rip and hits the top of the netting and goes out. Nice ball from Alexander. She's clearly proven herself to be a weapon. Of course, you just look at the score sheet from that game and you see Martin and obviously her runs, her ability to get in behind, and then her shiftiness 1v1 against defenders has been extremely impressive. But Alexander clearly playing the number 9 spot, and she has been just a menace today, a problem for Guadalupe, and we're only, 13 and a half minutes in. Jasmine forced backwards. Regroup for Guatemala, for Guadalupe. Guatemala is a part of this tournament. They're playing tonight. Just some other games. Dominican Republic and Suriname will play. Mentioned Puerto Rico, Cayman Islands. That's important for this game. Kick towards net, nobody home to get on the other end of it. Belize, Guatemala as well. Darwin finds Martin, cuts it back. Martin has a chance, and it rolls through. Fano's able to grab. Talia. Guadalupe just trying to get out of their own end. It's been so difficult, and it's not going to stop here. That shot ricochets wide. Goal kick coming. Jada Graham, another player that's based stateside. Credit to this Trinidad and Tobago front line, but also the midfield. they've just made it so hectic. Guadalupe hasn't really had a chance to get it out. Darwin's been leading the pack in that regard. All the tackles have been clean and precise. It's just been extremely difficult, and they're frazzling Guadalupe and forcing turnovers like that. Don't want to give it right back, though, if you're Sharina Steele. Alexander, this could be costly. A nice tackle put on. Assard lunges to stop what would surely have been goal number 2. Martin keeps on trucking. Here's a chance. Just off the mark. Left-footed strike for Oriel. Martin does not find the back of the net, but you have to love the hustle there. So close. Again, got some players down right now. It looks like Alexander for Trinidad and Tobago is just getting a strunch, but Guadalupe has a defender down on the far side. And Trinidad and Tobago, they haven't been physical in the sense that they're being dirty, but they clearly have some strong players that can muscle it away, that aren't afraid to, you know, be gritty, especially offensively. We're seeing that a lot, and so, you know, Martin is just kind of barreling through, and just saw her split the defense there. Alexander, you can see the height she provides. It's been difficult for Guadalupe. Again, Trinidad and Tobago walked into this tournament with a bit of a chip on their shoulders after what happened in the last iteration. They don't want to be remembered as a team that lost every single game in 2022, so something to prove, and definitely already proved it with that first win over Cayman Islands. But, you know, they want to compete and make it to that championship. Martin with that tackle. Sharina Steele, broken up. Graham sends it in the box, rolls out. By the way, Jada Graham from Pembroke Pines, Florida. She plays for a club called Black Panthers WSC, which is a fantastic name. And again, just another player that originates stateside, has Trinidad and Tobago connections. There's a fair amount, though, as well, that are from the country and have grown up there, as we see Martin, who's one of them, in some pain right now. Just got clipped. That's Talia Martin. Capri. Past Darwin. Jasmine turns, and now the tackle successful. Center back comes up to make a great stop in O'Brien. You know, we just haven't seen much from this back line, especially Spencer Wickham and O'Brien, the two center backs, because they haven't totally been necessary for Trinidad and Tobago, but sometimes you gotta make a great stop or two, keep the lead. Graham. Trinidad and Tobago trying to push in the box, and we'll get a foul. Marriott went down on that one, just a little too aggressive for Trinidad and Tobago. Again, Scal has to be happy with his team's performance so far. obviously took advantage of an early penalty in the 8th minute. Alexander buries it. And really since then, it's been all Trinidad and Tobago. They have been, feels like, approaching goal number 2 if Guadalupe doesn't figure something out. To Walker. Alexander, quick tap. Here's a chance for Oriel Martin. Trying to get past a swarm of defenders, unsuccessful. Punch back. Still possession with Trinidad and Tobago. Darwin. Jasmine has some green, finally met by Darwin. There's a tackle by O'Brien who goes spinning out. These have been timed very well. Anastasia O'Brien. See the coaching staff or you could hear the coaching staff for Trinidad and Tobago say too much room on that one. Lots of space to operate. Trying to collapse in quicker. Eckard. Stermick just looking to switch sides. Talia Martin takes off. Doesn't have numbers, just keeps on going. Past 2 defenders now. Looking for a cross on the wing. She'll take it herself into the 18. Tries a right-footed strike, but falls down in the 18. Alexander, high kick to Martin. Here's a shot, and it's right to Fano, the keeper. From Steele, another solid player in the midfield for Trinidad and Tobago to go along with Darwin on the opposite side, just mirroring each other. Darwin on the toss. Williams looks to earn it back, and instead it's Guadalupe. Can't get it past the head of Darwin. It's going to bring us to a cooling break here in the first half. 1-0 is the score. Trinidad and Tobago scoring on a penalty in the 8th minute thanks to Alexander, but they've had lots of other chances. They've created and had many touches in the box. They just haven't had just that perfect sequence that led to a finish, but it feels like it's coming. So we'll see if they can add another one or if Guadalupe uses this time to hydrate and then assess how to proceed and maybe come up with a different game plan. And these two teams will be back in action for their final games on Wednesday. Just 4 teams in this group, and that Concacaf championship is May 24th through June 3rd. So get about a month off and then right back at it. Most of these players still in high school in this game, and so they'll have to go back to school and reconvene, and then by that time, the 24th through the 3rd, school's probably out. Dangerous because Alexander was lurking. Works out for Guadalupe. Sword up. Can this get through? It does. Eckerd zips a pass. And then another strong tackle, this time from Steele. Up to Graham. Getting to the 70s in Curacao, so nothing crazy weather-wise. Walker. Now O'Brien. Darwin thinks about it, lofts it over for Martin, and it bounces right to Fano. Here's a chance for Guadalupe, and Kiel gets there first. That was the first time Guadalupe has been able to get completely behind this defense. Fighting through, here's an opportunity for Valerie in the box. Looks for a cross, and a corner is coming. This is a first set piece for Guadalupe, searching for the equalizer. Over everyone's head. Shot put on, here's a chance, can't collect, too heavy of a touch. That one way high on the follow through, but better for Guadalupe. Got half an hour, or we are half an hour in to this game. About 15 minutes left in the first half. Trinidad and Tobago has not left themselves a ton of wiggle room, because then you see a moment like that, Guadalupe comes down and has some decent chances. Martin leading pass just too far ahead of Williams. Love the idea, and she's clearly established herself as a distributor. Tournament started Friday. Again, will conclude later this week, and just extremely special. And they have Concacaf for the women's at 15, the 17, 20, and so there's, and of course then senior teams, and it's such a great opportunity to play for country at such a young age, and I think a lot of these players will eventually be a part of the senior team someday. You see that a lot, and you know, when you look at professional soccer leagues all around the globe, so many of those players got their start, 15 years old, and lots of high schoolers in this game representing. Just a great thing that will always be remembered. Love the confidence there from Spencer Wickham, the center back. Alexander. Nice pass to Martin. Martin in the box, shoots, and is just off. Assard slow to get up for Guadalupe after that play from Trinidad and Tobago. Looks like the training staff is gonna come out. See this again. Great pass from Alexander, slides through, and yeah, of course, incidental, just trying to finish. She runs right into the legs of Assard. Can't feel good. Just gonna limp off the pitch now. Martin, slow roller. From distance, would have been tough. Williams spirals that to Alexander. Turn, Martin fires. Trying to go top shelf. Just off. Well, both Martins have been extremely dangerous. Great complimenting players to Alexander. And we've just seen Oriel Martin mix in some fantastic passes, and then obviously every time she gets a touch in the box, she's dangerous. Got 10 minutes left in the first half between Guadeloupe and Trinidad and Tobago. Again, Concacaf qualifiers, the U20 level. Strong defense from O'Brien. Saved in the corner. Jasmine finally breaks loose. Graham wants to go. Offside is called. Nice sequence of passing here for Trinidad and Tobago. Can they make something of it? That was 4 or 5 beautiful feeds. Spencer Wickham. Issues there for Williams handling. Martin able to pick it up, but now she's swiped. Moriat. Right back with Trinidad and Tobago. Again, have spent the bulk of this half in their attacking third. I'm sure they would love to get a second one, add some insurance heading into the halftime break. Steal. Graham. Nice move there by Walker. Walker again. Slice in the box for Alexander, has time to turn, fire, and it's blocked down. Fano able to grab a keeper, can help this Guadalupe team just take a deep breath. Got a sub here in the first half for Guadalupe. Moriat's going to come out. Ubli will come in. Then another change as well. Treffel out. Hannigan in. So those are your 2 subs.
Ladies and gentlemen, in the 40th minute, two substitutions for the team of Guadalupe. Coming onto the pitch, player with number 6.
So just using some depth early. It's been exhausting for a lot of the players on the pitch, and
also coming out is coming on.
Guadalupe has had to do a ton of work defensively, and also I'm sure that Montpierre, head coach for Guadalupe, just wants to inject some life in this team, whatever that it means, to just get some more chances. I mean, a couple of minutes ago they had a decent sequence, led to a corner kick, and no shot really came of it against Kiel, but at this point, you know, you're still just 1 goal away, and some minor adjustments at halftime will probably be helpful for them as well. Assard on the turn. Again, switching fields now on that far side. From Graham. Little stiff arm. keel. Lands for Alexander off her head. Now she sprints that wide channel. Looked like she was going for Martin there. Almost hopped through. Sometimes those can be dangerous. You just never know how they're going to curve. Eckerd still has it. Runs in a Graham. Pushes through. Nice give and go action. Here's Eckerd with a chance to tie it up off the crossbar for Guadalupe. Second ball in. Denied. Third chance. Yes! Guadalupe ties it up. It's Eckerd. Had the first look off the crossbar. Another chance does not go. And finally, the third time around, we'll see this off the crossbar. Fantastic. Jasmine with the second blocked. And it lands right to Eckerd, who finishes. No, this team has not had many looks. Might have been the first shot that we've seen from them.
Trinidad and Tobago, 1.
It doesn't matter how many you take, it just matters how many you make. And we just saw that for Guadalupe, and you can just feel the excitement. It's obviously their first goal of the tournament after being shut out in their first game to Puerto Rico. And for Trinidad and Tobago, now you're a little nervous. Left some on the table. Back to the drawing board we go as we approach stoppage time here in the first half. Darwin gets tripped. Talia Martin, she got stepped on, and a foul is called. Unintentionally, and good sportsmanship there from Valerie, just checking on Martin, who's up and gonna try to walk it off. We'll see. Yeah, just a late tackle attempt that got no ball. Walker. Trinidad and Tobago trying to take the lead again. This one curls up, going straight to goal, and it ends up wide.
Ladies and gentlemen, the fourth official at the sideline just indicated a minimum of 2 minutes will be added.
Well, we're going to get 2 minutes of stoppage time here.
Of stoppage time.
This game just got interesting. Guadalupe with the tying goal thanks to Eckerd. Jasmine slow to get out. Training staff's going to have to come out.
2 minutes will be added to this first half. 2 minutes of stoppage time.
Obvious there from Williams, and Jasmine's still in some pain. It's going to be helped up. Walking very gingerly. Understandably so after that knock. Martin runs right into trouble. Oriel Martin. That was accidental, but always want to be cautious with those. Straight into the face of Valerie. Training staff's going to come out and make sure she's all right, but pretty close distance, and looks like there's some blood. She's okay. So right as one player can come on for Guadalupe, come back on, and Jasmine, one has to step off, and Valerie. And there's a whistle to end the first half. So Trinidad Tobago scores on a penalty thanks to Alexander. Seemed like they really controlled this game. And then late in the first half, Guadalupe puts together a nice sequence, puts on the pressure, and it's Eckert who finishes. It's 1-1 at halftime. Left in a tight battle. Take a break. Back for highlights in the second half after this.
Group D, the match between Guadeloupe and Trinidad and Tobago. The halftime score is Guadeloupe 1, Trinidad and Tobago 1. And of course, later on we will be having the match between Cayman Islands
Walker Martin gets tangled up. Free kick coming for Trinidad and Tobago in a good spot. We'll see what they run here, but they have a lot of options, and Walker's been the strongest on these kicks from distance. Again, looking to regain the lead that they had for the bulk of that first half. This one up for Walker. Alexander trending in, and she actually heads it out. Kept by Graham, looks for a cross. It's gonna be a goal kick instead. Congested. Graham creates space. Martin loses it. Still in this near touch line, and Graham gets the tackle to push it out in front of the Guadalupe bench. Again, trying to right the ship after losing 5-0 in their first game Saturday. And for Trinidad and Tobago, they want to be undefeated. We don't know if Puerto Rico's going to remain without a loss. We'll find that out at 6 p.m. Eastern time as they take on Cayman Islands. And so, you know, at this point, you want to control what you can control. So even if Puerto Rico wins, then you still have a chance to move on to the championship with that final game on Wednesday. Here comes Guadalupe. Accelerating. Eckert already has the goal, and two defenders swarm. Knowing she's a threat, another tackle put on by Graham, and that's going to be a whistle because Graham got more leg than ball on that one. Yeah, it looked painful there for Lubley, one of the subs for Guadalupe that came in at the end of the first half. Discussing how to execute. Looks like Valerie and Lubley will be the ones to take it. Perhaps Mariant as well. That one straight to nets, and Keel handles. Martin breaks through. Here's Talia Martin in the box, gets tripped up. A whistle and another penalty for Trinidad and Tobago. Card given out to Gastarme, because look at this. It's going to be Alexander again from the spot. Can she complete the brace and get goal number 2? More importantly, give this Trinidad and Tobago team the lead again.
Team of Guadeloupe, player with number 5, Saran Kustarima.
This is interesting because this is really a little deja vu from how that first half started. From Alexander, she got it. Her second of the day. Trinidad and Tobago regains the lead. Jalisha Alexander with a brace today. Looks like Martin is going to get subbed out after she's drawn 2 penalties now. So wasn't the one to finish them, but I mean, did a lot of work. So she comes out.
The second goal for the team of Trinidad
Janikia
and Tobago.
Benjamin comes in.
Your goal scorer is number 9, Oriel Martin. And in the 52nd minute, substitution also at the side of Trinidad and Tobago. Coming out to the pitch, player with number 2.
Here they come again.
Benjamin, replacing number 7.
Benjamin
Salia
keeps
Martin.
on going. The tallest one out there. Alexander going for the hat trick. Not enough heat on that one. Hear the wind in Curacao. It's pretty strong today.
And ladies and gentlemen, in the 54th minute,
Baronian will come in for Guadalupe.
Coming on to the pitch, player with number 4.
Taliat is out, and we've got
replacing number
Divronde as well
Taliot.
in.
And also coming on is player with number 11, Limitier Pironyan, replacing number 17. Anael Jasmin.
Looks like Jasmine will come out as well. Those are your changes for Guadalupe. Again, just trying to add some different players in, see if they can get that equalizer again. It must be a little deflating because, you know, found that equalizer towards the end of the first half, and then right away, 5 minutes into the second half, Trinidad and Tobago are right back in the lead. Alexander trying to break free, gets knocked down. In some pain, but no call. Looked like it was a kind of a 50-50 incident there. Alexander's still down. Guadalupe wants to score, trying to go the other way, and now we're gonna get a whistle because it's just kind of dangerous to have someone down in the middle of action. heel. Graham. This has been a battle on the near side, and things are starting to get a little feistier. There's that sub and Benjamin going head to head. Now we'll get a call. Well, it's a 1-1 game, and I think both of these teams know the implications of these contests. You don't get that many chances to get wins, and yeah, a draw would be great, but 3 points, chance to compete with Puerto Rico potentially for the top of the group. That's what these two teams are after, excuse me. So probably gonna see a little chippiness down the stretch, and we saw a lot of physical tackles as Benjamin makes a move. Gets undercut. Benjamin frustrated. Yellow card. Grande just came in and gets that yellow. See it again. Benjamin's just so fast that defenders are.
Ladies and gentlemen, in the 58th minute, a yellow card shown to the team of Guadalupe.
Defenders are just constantly racing back. Set piece coming. Again, it's Walker. Lofted up in the middle. Benjamin trying to get a foot on it. Multiple players, and finally cleared out by Guadalupe. Can't connect on a pass, and it's right back with Trinidad and Tobago, knocking on the door of really stretching this game out. Seen 2 penalties, so. Benjamin's in the mix of a lot here. She's been on for, what, 12 minutes? Maybe even less than that. Probably 80 pounds soaking wet, and just got a lot of fire. I like it, but that's a clear yellow. You can't just shove somebody.
And ladies and gentlemen, the 59th minute, so another yellow card shown, this time to the team of Trinidad and Tobago. Player with number 2 cautions Janicia Benjamin.
Passes, trying to find the seams here for Guadalupe. Ripped away by Steele. Steele looking for Martin, top of the box. Chance for a shot, swerves out wide, still on her feet. Cross in, Alexander, a hat trick! The celebration is wild for Trinidad and Tobago. But Jalisha Alexander has a hat trick. And for the first time, they're up 2. That's a great feed from Ariel Martin as well, who's been so dangerous and so creative. And finally, she gets that assist. But Alexander, 2 penalty goals. And finally, 1 in the run of play. And that really takes the wind out of Guadalupe's sails. Got some work to do. But 30 minutes to go. Still time. Benjamin sprinting for it, but it's the other way. Guadalupe looking to slice the lead in half. Eckert already has a goal today and is beat out on that one. Spencer Wickham. Corner's coming though. Last corner in the first half for Guadalupe was not exactly what you would want. No one was able to get a great shot off, and then the shot from the top of the box was way high. Service up, header. Cleared. Darwin again, strong defensive performance from her. Dangerous. Ooh, almost a giveaway. Keel is cool, calm, and collected back there in net for Trinidad and Tobago. Ivrande gets a little tripped up, but ultimately it's a corner. Served up from Eckert, and that one soars over, hits the top of the net, and a goal kick is coming. So if you're Guadalupe, you had a chance to really execute something nice and couldn't really get that one in play. Collision. No whistle there. Martin was part of that. Looks like the Guadalupe player is still down. Lubley gets knocked hard. A tackle from Graham. Lubley's still down. I mean, she got a ball. Doesn't mean that you don't land uncomfortably. Lubley slowly walking off. Spencer Wickham. Whipped in the middle with Steele. Lubley back on, by the way. There's a whiff for Guadalupe. Turned right over. And once again, another collision. Looks like Marriott, let's see this again. Yeah. Trying to go for ball, ends up getting Jada Graham more than anything. Although, I don't know if she hurt herself in the twisting process. We've had a lot of players down in the last couple of minutes for both sides, but Guadalupe in particular. Looks like they'll bring the stretcher just to err on the side of caution here. Marriott's gonna come off the pitch. Good to see Graham okay. She also, I mean, she's the one that got a cleat to the ankle. She's all right. Keel. Long ball bounced around. Graham evades a defender. Walker, the captain, launched. And Trinidad and Tobago wanted a handball there. Guadalupe just looking to possess and attack. Down 2. It was 1-1 at halftime. And we saw Trinidad and Tobago come out swinging and opening 5 minutes, get a penalty. Alexander scored on that one. It was drawn by Talia Martin. And then not too long after that, beautiful pass from Oriel Martin finds a cutting Alexander, who's able to tap it home for a hat trick on the day. Eckert has the lone goal for Guadalupe. On the wing, gets some pressure and just muscled away. Spencer Wickham. Turns on the Jets a little bit, ahead to Alexander. Can she get 4? Cuts it back, looking to return the favor, and it's just off from Martin. Well, Talia, Oriel, Martin, and Alexander have fantastic chemistry. Look at this. Obviously recognizes, doesn't have the angle. Martin has the first step. Look to use the side of her foot and redirect it in.
71st minute, the substitution at the side of Guadalupe. Coming onto the pitch, player with number 15, Kellen Saint-Marc, replacing number 9, Elsa Marillat.
So Marriott's officially out now after getting stretchered off, and Kellen Saint-Marc is in the game. Guadalupe. Hainigan. This is Saint-Marc. Tumbles. And a goal kick for Trinidad and Tobago. All right, here's that break for everyone to get some water. Hydration break. Guadalupe and Trinidad and Tobago. good performance from Trinidad and Tobago, and they've always been dominant, but in that first half just couldn't score in the run of play. Obviously deserved the penalties that were given to them, and you know, those were penalties because of their speed, shiftiness, solid passes that meant the defense was forced to make a decision. But that extra cushion, that extra insurance goal that Alexander had in the run of play on a cross from Martin, it makes this a lot easier for Trinidad and Tobago. They have some wiggle room just in case something happens for Guadalupe, because we know Guadalupe scored late in that first half without really having many shots at all. All right, back from the cooling hydration break and ready to go. From Keo. St. Mark gets entwined. Guadalupe possession. Graham playing defense, gets another tackle. Corner's coming though for Guadalupe. This one up, whiffed on, and a big clearance. Can they counter here, Trinidad and Tobago? Alexander has something to say about it. 1v2 if she had gotten it. Change for Trinidad and Tobago. Nikita Jackson is going to come in.
Substitution at the side
15
of
minutes
Trinidad
left.
and Tobago. Coming on to the pitch, player with number 12, Nikita Jackson, replacing number 9, Jalisha Alexander.
It means Alexander is out. Jalisha Alexander, a hat trick. That's a nice round of applause from the Trinidad and Tobago bench and fans that were able to make it. Fantastic performance again, 2 penalties and 1 in the run of play. Brings up Nikita Jackson, who's already scored. She scored in that first game against Cayman Islands. Benjamin coming back. From Steele into the defense. Diverandi. St. Mark. Spencer Wickham. Again, lots of games going on this week. Concacaf CONCACAF U20 qualifiers. St. Mark, 2 defenders swarm, and it's Graham who clears. After last year's rankings for 2022, Guadalupe was 36 out of 41. Just really struggled as that one nearly a goal. See if they can get a quality shot off Guadalupe. Valerie head-to-head with Benjamin. Benjamin wins out. 2 defenders, and she goes down. Guadalupe still going. Now we're going to get a whistle. Looks like a foul, or excuse me, offside. We've seen some lopsided scores in this tournament, but this game has been really, really tightly contested because every time you think Trinidad Tobago is going to run away with it, Guadalupe has some clutch moments where it seems like they can get themselves back into this game, and obviously it was 1-1 at halftime. Canada beat Martinique 15-0 on Friday. Saw Costa Rica beat Belize 13-0 on Saturday. I mean, right now Guyana's taking it to Dominica. It's 8-0. 3 games at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Suriname, Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico, Cayman Islands, Belize, Guatemala. Then at 9 o'clock, we'll have another game in St. Lucia and Costa Rica. Benjamin, always fiery, had to be broken up there. Here's Jackson, fresh legs. They can make this a 3-goal lead. That would close the book, I think, on the game. Benjamin combines with Jackson in the box, trending forward. Boxed out. Strong defense by Lubli. 10 minutes to go. Second half could be a costly turnover. Kept in and whiffed on the second chance. It's really fighting for it. You gotta love Trinidad and Tobago and the energy they've brought this entire game. Both teams, truly. Follows that end line out of play, and Darwin will throw, but we asked to take some steps back before she does. from O'Brien. Great pass if Benjamin can get there. She does not. 8 minutes to go, and then we'll get some stoppage time here. Curacao. Steal. Taken away by Lubley. Eckerd, here's a chance for Guadalupe to cut the lead in half. And we're gonna get a penalty. They'll say Kiel just undercut. Biorian is making this run, gets in the box. She makes the initial stop, and then you could see everybody, O'Brien, etc., collapsing in to clear, but then Kiel, with the aftermath, tripped up. Well, that's very tough for Trinidad and Tobago, and this is going to be the third penalty shot that we've seen in this game. Now warning, some pushing and shoving at the edge of the box. It's Lubley. Serg Lubley could make this a one-goal game for Guadalupe. And she does. Guadalupe has 2 goals. The lead is now 1 for Trinidad and Tobago. And it looked like they were going to walk away with this game. And now things are uncertain. Guadalupe searching for the equalizer with about 6 minutes to go. We'll see this again. Lubley just goes with her right foot, tucks it in the corner. Again, the third penalty shot that we've seen and the third penalty make.
In the 84th minute, the goal for the team of Guadeloupe. The goal scorer is number 6, Sergina Lubley. The score is now Guadeloupe 2, Trinidad and Tobago 3.
Martin. Archer. Up to Steele. Blocked down. Nice pass, doesn't get through. You can feel the energy shift for Guadalupe. Biorian, though, right into Graham. St. Mark. And corral it. Archer. Off Guadalupe, so Trinidad and Tobago just trying to possess, I would assume, for these final minutes. Guadalupe just keeps on earning it back in the midfield. Darwin with a nice slide. Dribbling out of trouble, sends it, tries to send it to Benjamin, but hops out. Jackson. Darwin's heels it down. Eckerd denied. Here's Eckerd now. Remember, had that first goal for Guadalupe. Darwin and her head-to-head. Lubley just made the penalty. Keeps on going. Lubley right to Keel. Keel's gonna cover and hold, so kill some time for Trinidad and Tobago, just looking to remain undefeated here in Concacaf W qualifiers at the U20 level. Keel in her area. St. Mark, if Ronde gets some help and momentum. Another change for Trinidad and Tobago in the waning minutes. Graham out, Shakira Charles in. Looks like Athena Jackson is also going to come in. Oriel Martin will come out.
Ladies and gentlemen, in the 89th minute, substitution at the side of Trinidad and Tobago.
Perhaps some defensive changes to just make sure that everything's strong for Trinidad and Tobago to hang on. They know that Guadalupe down one is going to probably throw everything they can at them.
Number 9, Team Jada Graham.
Benjamin, full 360 down. Here's a chance. Bjorn gets tripped. Free kicks coming. Yellow card for Charles, who just came in.
And ladies and gentlemen, in the 90th minute, the yellow card shown to player of Trinidad and Tobago, player with number 18.
Well, we approach stoppage time. See this again. Yeah, not even close to the ball there for Charles. Lubley, see what she can create. Curls it up, header, yes! It's tie game! In stoppage time! Guadalupe heads it home. The celebration had begun, but the offside flag is up. Oh no, that is so heartbreaking for Guadalupe.
And ladies and gentlemen, the fourth official at the sideline just indicated a minimum of 3 minutes will be added to the second half.
There's 3 minutes of stoppage time, and Guadalupe just tied it up. 3-3, except for the offside flag was up. Doesn't count. Trying to get another one cleared to the middle. Just got 90 seconds left for Guadalupe. Throw in, missed by Valerie. Archer sends it up for Jackson, denied. Lubley, wide now. Dorian hounded, just gets completely barreled through. Honestly, it was 50-50 knock. Here comes Jackson all alone. A push from behind, no call. A little hectic vibe right now. Athena Jackson had a open lane and got pushed. On the other side, Steele is now down for Trinidad and Tobago. Yeah, you see that tough moment. Both players really, I mean, just collided in an extremely strengthful way. And now we see Steele. Not sure if the training staff's gonna come out. It seems like here they come. Tough to see this late in a game where Steele really got crunched. I'll take her off the pitch. Now final minutes and desperation starts to hit, I think, for both teams, because for Trinidad and Tobago, you're desperate to keep this lead. Things often get a little out of hand. Could be a costly turnover. Benjamin is open. Doesn't get a shot off. His defense collapses in on her. O'Brien rolls out off Guadalupe. Limited time left. Keel's in no hurry. Jackson for Guadalupe. Spencer Wickham. There's the final whistle. Guadalupe gives Trinidad and Tobago all they can handle, but ultimately it's Alexander's hat trick. That's the difference in this one. Trinidad and Tobago takes down Guadalupe 3-2 in a thrilling Group D game. We saw 3 penalty goals, 2 for Trinidad and Tobago and 1 for Guadalupe. Saw that 84th minute goal from Lubley that cut the lead to 1, but Trinidad and Tobago hangs on, and they are still undefeated in this qualifier tournament. On the flip side, 0-2 is Guadalupe. Again, a hard-fought game for them, but just come up a little short.
And lastly, the official attendance for this match is
We'll have highlights coming up soon from Curacao. But for now, that's it for me. I'll take a break and then highlights soon. I want to stick around for that because there was a lot of action in this game.
Round of applause for Guadalupe and Trinidad and Tobago.
Take a look at the highlights, Concacaf Under-20 qualifiers, and it is Trinidad and Tobago, Guadalupe, head-to-head. Whistle blows, and right away, this Trinidad and Tobago team looks ready to play as we see an immediate penalty. Alexander buries it. It's one of many goals for her today. Jalisha Alexander makes it 1-0 Trinidad and Tobago, and then they would just keep on attacking, but could not get a second goal in the first half. Guadalupe and them, lots of strong tackles in this one. Things got physical at the end. Just couldn't connect in a couple of shots that went off the mark. Guadalupe didn't have much going at all until finally they put together a nice sequence off a corner. That shot's way too high. Couple of more physical plays here. Trinidad and Tobago, great chance from Martin, slides through, but this from Eckerd off the crossbar for Guadalupe. Looked like they missed on the equalizer, blocked down, and it just rolls right back to her. She gets a second shot and she doesn't miss that time around. 1-1 in that first half. Trinidad and Tobago had some other good chances in the first, but couldn't capitalize. As you see all of the trips and fouls that we saw in this game. 1-1 at halftime, so we start the second half, and it continues to be a little messy and a little bit too physical. As you see, more whistles there. But Martin, Talia Martin was so electric. She just kept beating defenders, and there, no option but to foul her, of course, in the box. Leads to a penalty. Alexander, goal number 2. So that makes it 2-1. Finally, Trinidad and Tobago get the lead back. Benjamin, she came in, and her and Daivrandi had quite the battle on the near side touchline. Just trending up that wide channel. This is the third goal for Trinidad and Tobago. Created by Martin, crosses it through. Finally won in the run of play, and who else? It's Alexander. That's a hat trick for her, and again, it's 3-1. And so you think, all right, this game is over. Trinidad and Tobago finally with their largest lead. And then this happens, a breakaway, missed shot. Keel trips up and gets called for the foul, and Lubli finishes for Guadalupe to make it 3-2. So we got ourselves a 1-goal game with just a couple of minutes left. Looked like they got the equalizer there, but Assard was offside, and now on the replay you can see that. So ultimately 3-2 the final score as Trinidad and Tobago hang on and defeat Guadalupe here in Curacao. Take a look at the standings in Group D. But again, we're just waiting on Puerto Rico and Cayman Islands. They will play later today at 6 o'clock Eastern Time, and that will give us a better idea of how the group's going to look heading into the final games later this week. But I can tell you right now that Trinidad and Tobago top of the standings because they are undefeated, and for Guadalupe, you know, there's no moral victories in CONCACAF, but should be proud of just the fight that they showed today. A very, very good game for Guadalupe, scoring their first 2 goals of the qualifiers. All right, that's going to do it from us here in Curacao. Again, final score, Trinidad and Tobago 3, Guadalupe 2. More Group D action coming up at 6 p.m. with Cayman Islands and Puerto Rico.